Hi there, thank you so much for joining me here today. In today's video, I want to share 3 tips to help you if you are looking at making a career change. Now, I have one other video I have made that has also 3 tips in it. It's episode number 3. If you find this video helpful and you want more information, more tips to help you move forward, do check out episode number 3. Now, in this video, I'm going to share 3 tips. And I share it kind of coming from 2 different perspectives. One is how to help you move forward, right? We always want steps on how to progress and keep moving forward. But I also like to share tips on where people often get tripped up, where they stumble and where they fall and where they get hung up and stuck. Because from my perspective, it's just as important to know how to get through when you hit those challenges. You know, a lot of times I think we do focus on just how to do things. And then when we hit a roadblock, something that goes wrong, we don't know how to navigate it. And that really is just, it's juicy, valuable information. So I'm going to share it with you today. I do really want to continue to make videos like these because I do know that many of you are looking for a career change. And I don't believe that we should have to start from scratch. Let's take some knowledge. This is stuff I learned through making my own career change as well as working with clients. So without further ado, here are my 3 tips for today. Now, the first tip is to look at how you identify yourself. Now, there's many different ways we can identify ourselves in this world. The first way I want to talk about it is how you see yourself in how you function. Because if you've been in a situation for a while, which most of you have been, who end up working with me or watching my videos, where you're not happy in your career, you don't feel in alignment, maybe you're having to try to fit in, like become somebody you are different just to try to fit in. How you see yourself right now may not be in the most empowering light. And I always encourage people to go back, do a bit of, go back through your history a little bit and look at the areas in your life where you've made some accomplishments that you're proud of, because it's really easy to forget in these times all the amazing things you've done and the amazing person that you are. So look at how you are identifying. Often when we are in these really toxic work cultures, we can feel like a victim after a while. And if that's the case, feeling like a victim or identifying as a victim is not going to serve you in be able to move forward to make a change. So just do an inventory. Look at where you are in terms of your beliefs, and is there some room to change some of those identifications to more empowering ones? And a little tip I have for you within a tip is, you know, if you've been feeling depressed, say you've been in a job and you've been feeling really, really depressed, you know, sometimes you'll hear people say, you know, no negative thoughts or positive vibes only. And I'm certainly not a person who subscribes to that at all. If you've been feeling depressed, to switch from, you know, feeling depressed to saying, I'm a happy person, it's going to feel really fake. It's not going to feel authentic. And it's going to feel too far away. It's going to feel like it's miles away from where you are. If right now you're feeling depressed. So you can then identify as a person, perhaps as somebody who is open to feeling more happiness, open to exploring opportunities, open to new ideas. Not somebody who's maybe, you know, taking new ideas and just running with them. That might feel really uncomfortable and not natural. So wherever you are, it's about taking a step into a more empowering position, but don't try to go here because that can really set us up for failure. So just, you know, take a step up and then you can keep moving that, right? You can keep moving how you identify as a person who operates in this world. Now, the second way I want to encourage you to look at how you identify is once you decide on what it is you want to do, and I acknowledge there's many steps in between, you know, making a decision that you want to make a change and then knowing. There's a lot of stuff in between there. But say you are a person who has decided, okay, I'm going to make a change. I do know what it is. start to identify as that new thing, as that new way of being. So for example, I used to be an accountant. Now, if I continued calling myself an accountant, that wouldn't work for me. But at some point, because I did both, right? I was coaching and I was working in the corporate world, I did both for a while, which is often what has to happen, right? Just reality bills need to be paid. If I kept identifying as only as an accountant, I would not be able to step into being a coach and a trainer and a teacher. It wouldn't line up. So if you have made that decision on what it is, start identifying it. And if people you see, like people you meet, introduce yourself as that. Just start saying it out loud. Start feeling into it. And it can really make a difference, because we need to embody what it is we're trying to create and who we're trying to be. And then with all these ways that you may identify with yourself as you go through this process, really start to step into these new ways of identifying. This is how we can really help ourselves move forward. Because if we still believe we're that old person, we're not going to have the energy, the motivation, the inspiration to move ahead. Our thoughts, our beliefs are extremely, extremely powerful. We are just scratching the surface, as far as I'm concerned, to fully comprehend how much our beliefs about ourselves are determining our futures. So I encourage you to really try to embody some of these new beliefs. Now, the second tip I have, tip number 2, is consistency is key. Consistency is not appealing. Consistency is not terribly attractive or sexy or exciting, but it is one of the most important things you can do when you decide to make a career change. It's consistency. Results do not happen overnight. You didn't get to the point in your career right now overnight. Yet when we make a switch, we somehow assume it's going to be super quick. Now, having said that, I do believe it happens faster. And why? Because we have all this experience, knowledge. Like, we know so much more than when we started. We've got a resume of skills and experience. We've got education. So yes, my experience is it is faster. But is it overnight? Is it in a month or two? Are you at the same level of your career, your new career, as you were at your old career? No, not likely. But consistency is how you will get there. It is showing up on the days you don't want to show up, doing things, taking action toward your goals and your dreams. Maybe on days when you just don't feel like it, and maybe it's just a small thing, but it's consistently showing up, saying, and by your actions, you are saying, this is important to me. It's saying to the universe, it's saying to the world, however you perceive it to be, this is important to me. And this is how change is really made. Change is made by consistently showing up, taking action. This, like I said, not sexy, not appealing, but there's no other real way to do it. If you really, really want to change your life and create something better for yourself, it often is easier to keep consistent, right? Keep a vision of what you're really working towards. That also can help keep consistent, but just keep at it, keep consistent, really truthfully. So tip number 3 is an interesting one. I love to play with this one because I think, I'll just say what it is out loud. It is be okay with making mistakes. I meet so many people who are so afraid to move forward and making a change because they are scared they are going to make a mistake. And I understand that. I actually completely understand where that comes from. If you've been stuck and if you've been struggling for a long time in your career, The longer you stay stuck, the longer you're struggling, the higher the stakes are. It's like, oh, I've got to get it right this time. I can't take another job that doesn't align with me. It starts to feel really heavy. So first of all, I certainly have empathy and compassion. I know what this feels like, but it can also hold us up. If we see mistakes or actions that we take that don't get us to where we want to be, if we see them as mistakes, that can stop us. But if we stop and say, okay, so what did I learn from this? It's always about what we can learn when we feel we've made a mistake. What can we learn from it? What new awareness do we have? I did not think I would be career coaching, okay? I did not think this was my path at all. I think I've shared this in another video. I was doing a completely different type of coaching, but it wasn't working with me. Like, it just didn't resonate. Something was wrong. And so I got myself a coach, and through that discovered that this is actually what I want to do. And once I realized what it was just like, light bulbs went off, and it was great. But if I turned around and said, well, all that time I spent doing other kinds of coaching is wasted, it was a mistake. No, it wasn't. I learned so much. I wouldn't have known to go looking for something else if I didn't feel unhappy in doing the other kind of coaching that I was doing. This is more rewarding for me, but it was a journey to get here. And when we also start to learn to enjoy the journey, yes, we have a destination, but what you realize is that you get to a certain point and then you want more. I mean, humans are never really truly satisfied. It's not like we ever go, oh, wow, it's done. We've got it made. No, as long as we wake up in the morning, and we do wake up in the morning and we're living and we're breathing, we are continuing to grow and learn, and we're always going to be expanding and growing into more. So if we start to embrace the fact that this life is a journey, but getting on a path, instead of staying on a trajectory or a path that's just, leading you to feel unhappy and unsatisfied and maybe just downright miserable each day, to being on a path that brings you more joy, you discover that the journey is actually kind of interesting and fun. Because when you make mistakes, you realize you're just actually making mistakes to help you move forward. It's like new awareness is new learning. And that can be a really big shift, because let's face it, if we feel like we're making mistakes, our egos love to come in at those moments, right? And humans are really good at beating ourselves up when we feel like we're making mistakes, right? But making a shift to saying, well, mistakes is just part of the journey. It's just learning. How else do we learn? We try something, it doesn't work. We try something else. Does this work? And we just keep going. And if you remain open to what might work, you do eventually get there. And then, like I said, it's like, okay, on to the next thing. This is feeling good. I like this. Where is this going next? This is feeling good. Where am I going next? It becomes a little more of a dance and a journey rather than this, I've got to get from A to B and it has to be right or I'm going to be miserable, and that is a big shift we're going through in terms of humanity as well, because we're going through some big shifts in our society as a whole. We know what we've been doing isn't working really well, and it's just taking one step at a time, navigating it as we go. We don't need to have the whole thing figured out exactly with this assurance. We love to have control, and that's really what that's about. When we say we don't want to make a mistake, that's about control, right? And we all have that part within us, right? This is never to be, I don't say these things to ever, make anyone feel bad or, to beat ourselves up. It's just, a lot of us have control running in us, right? We want to control the situation. We want to control the outcome. And if we want control, you can have control, but you might not like the outcome. If you need certainty, you can have often certainty. But is it what you really, really want? Or did you just get certainty at the cost of being open to find something that is better suited for you? So I'm gonna leave this video here. There's 3 tips, and like I said, check out episode number 3 if you want more tips. And if you are looking at making a career change and you are feeling stuck, not sure what to do next, you can check out my website, AndreaHorvath.com. I've actually just uploaded a new freebie on there. It's called How to Create a Professional Life You Love. I've got 5 steps on there. If you go to my website, under free guide, I'll also actually put a link down here below so you can access that as well. Or if you're thinking you want to have a chat with me and discuss maybe what your options are and what things might look for you, you can certainly reach out to me at Andrea@AndreaHorvath.com. My email is also on my website. So take care, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.